Hello, I'm Robert Kelly, and this is a Record All Monsters quick look at The Lost World. From time to time, there will be films, TV shows, or other media that I don't feel merit a full episode of the show, but do deserve a brief analysis or review due to their impact on giant monster movies. Today's film, Harry O. Hoyt and Willis O'Brien's The Lost World, is one such movie. Released in 1925, The Lost World laid a lot of the groundwork for what would come in the genre. We have the scientist who nobody believes, the journalist and his buddy, the female character who, surprisingly, quote-unquote, proves useful as early iterations of the stock players of kaiju movies on an expedition that would inspire the makers of King Kong, Mothra, and Gorgo to bring monsters or their friends to a major city in which they may wreak havoc. The similarities were known as Kong began production, and Serge Bromberg of Lobster Films theorizes in the essay accompanying their 2016 Blu-ray that there were wide-reaching ramifications born of that knowledge. In 1929, the Lost World's producers at First National Pictures agreed to remove it from circulation and destroy all existing prints and negatives. The only surviving components of the film were shortened 5-reel versions owned by Kodak to sell for home projection. This is the version of the film that most people living today would have seen. In the early 1990s, several different, nearly complete versions were recovered from George Eastman's collection and the National Film Archive of the Czech Republic. And this is the reason that the full 10-reel version of the film is available to be viewed today. Before we go any further, if you do seek this film out, I'd like to warn you that there is a character portrayed through blackface. And this is the film's biggest flaw. It's something that's not acceptable now, was not acceptable then, but unfortunately is. The reason I didn't include this movie as a full episode is because its stated goal is realism. It seeks to present realistic dinosaurs to the public as they might have been, even taking their designs from the paleo art of Charles R. Knight, which had been and still is featured in museums as prestigious as the Smithsonian Institute. This makes it rather different than a monster movie, even if the bones look quite similar. Think about it like a Dimetrodon, the sail-backed mammal-like reptile, often confused with a dinosaur. It isn't one, but without it there to catch the eye of many a 3-year-old in a baggie of plastic dinos, that interest may not have flourished. And of course, this source material had its own source material in the novel of the same name by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, probably best known for being the creator of Sherlock Holmes. There's a famous story that he took a reel of Willis O'Brien's effects footage from this movie to be exhibited without explanation to the Society of American Magicians. The New York Times declared the next day on their front page that if these were fake animals, which indeed they were masterpieces. And so nearly is this film. It's captivating and fast-paced, and the dinosaurs look great for the time. While we recognize them as monstrous misimaginings of animals today, at the time, this was as real as it could get. It's a silent film, so I can't put an audio clip here at the end, but the episode is over, so you can go.